Hi, I'm Tom Waltz. I am a senior staff writer and editor at Idea Publishing and also a writer for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And I'm Matheus Santoloco, and I'm an artist and sometimes a writer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
When I think about issue 1, it seems like it was a million years ago, and it seems like it was just yesterday. So it kind of blows my mind that we've gotten that far. It's a culmination of a lot of hard planning between Bobby Curnow, Kevin Eastman, and myself on the story side. A lot of dedication from really hardworking artists. But it's a very satisfying feeling. But I once heard somebody talking to Cal Ripken Jr., the baseball player, about his games streak when he played all those games in a row and how it felt. And he said, I really haven't had a chance to think about it because I'm still playing. And so I don't really get a chance to think about it because I always feel like I have another script to write. So I'm still like in the middle of it. I think someday I'm going to really look back on this someday and realize how important it was and how big a deal it is. But right now all I'm thinking about is the next deadline. So I'm proud of it, but we still got work to do.
For me, I think video games, the first arcade. But I used to play that thing every weekend. When I had the money, when my parents would allow me to give me some money to play it, and I was really addicted to that shit. And so that for me is my favorite interaction. But so right after that, I'll say the 90s movies. Yeah, that was my favorites. Yeah.
I think for me, I kind of came into it later because I'm a little older. And I came into it probably first really where I knew what they were with the 90s movies. And also when my son was watching the Fred Wolf movies on VHS. So I started to get the feel for them, and then it was kind of backwards for me. Then I got into the comics. I think as far as most influential and the one that I really enjoyed the most, I like the 2003 4Kids version a lot. I felt like that was the version that really kind of like keyed on the spirit of the original Mirage stuff, but it had its own feel to it too, and it was really the inspiration for what we did with this book. I wanted us to, have that core spirit, make it feel like a turtle story, but kind of make it feel like ours. And I thought, but feel like Mirage at the same time, feel like where it came from, and that's what I thought 4Kids did really well. Besides good looks.
Of course.
What doesn't he bring? I mean, Bobby will say this too, our editor will say this, had this wealth of great artists, and so we've been very lucky. But when Matheus came in, I think what Matheus really did was he took us to the next level we needed to go to, because we were trying to get there story-wise with Cityfall, and Matheus had done this great work on Secret History of the Foot Clan, and with him working on that and Eric Burnham writing with him, it showed me that our new origin story, our reincarnation story, and having that Feel Japan connection really worked well, because I could read that as a fan and not as the person who came up with that idea, and I said, it is working. I can see that this is something that we could even make bigger than I ever expected. And then just having Matheus' artwork kind of set the standard for that, and then come in with our Cityfall, which was our really big first epic arc, because we had gotten past kind of some of the natural stories you would tell with Turtles, the Shredder story, Northampton and all that, and then you get to Northampton came after Cityfall, but you have to tell a story that is, I felt like, ours. And besides the reincarnation, once we got to Cityfall, we just were hitting on all gears, and having Matheus, design it was just the icing on top.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Actually, the reincarnation part is my favorite thing about the new origins of the Turtles.
Yeah.
This aspect is my favorite thing. Yeah. I really want to, these guys allow me, I really like to write again and draw the Return of Shredder. That'll be awesome.
Not that we know he's going to turn on that. No spoilers.
Oh, yeah, forget this is comics.
It's comics.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I like to think it evolves a lot. I was trying to improve my work. I tell to myself that my next work will be the best work, and that's forever. So I don't have. I want to believe that I will always try to reach a top that is unreachable.
Yeah.
So that way I can keep pushing myself to get better. And I still like the other day the people ask me which one was my favorite turtle. So right now, my favorite turtle is Leonardo, because I think that I finally found a way to design him because I was not very satisfied with what I'd done before, and now I think I finally got him. So I always try to improve these little things, and not to mention the art as a whole as well. So.
Well, through Bobby, Bobby's the mastermind behind everything. I've had kind of chance to look at the stories and kind of give some notes to, like the first example of that would be the Paul Allor story that's in the first arc, which is a Bishop story, which kind of comes out of what, you know, we introduced Bishop in the ongoing, and then Paul came up with a cool first story, and then we were able to kind of look at that and give our notes, knowing some things we want to do with Bishop down the line in the main story. As far as like actual direct involvement, Kevin has come up with a backup story for the first arc that he's drawing with Bill Sienkiewicz inking. And so that was a story that Bobby and Kevin and I sat down and we mind melded on and decided this is what we want to show with Leonardo, that kind of accentuates and accents what we're doing in the ongoing. And then Kevin and Bill do the artwork, and then I come in, this is almost, I guess what you would call Marvel style. The artwork comes in and then I script from there. I do the dialogue and the captions. So that's been a lot of fun, and the artwork, it's just amazing that they're doing. So, but Universe is very exciting for me for two reasons. One, we get to tell stories that we just don't have room to tell in our ongoing, so our overall canon is better for it. But I also like those kind of books too, because that's where I get to be the fan and just read them as a fan and read other people's stories, and that's always exciting for me. And then I try to see what I can steal from those guys so I can use in my stories later. Oh yeah, recognizable faces, as well as some new faces. Matter of fact, in the Universe story, we're introducing a new mutant that I'm sure will cross over. But we've got some plans for new characters down the line. Some status quo changes that I think will really surprise people. But the biggest thing is, for me, we're going to have an arc soon where we get to see all the Mutanimals kind of come back into the mix, and they're a lot of fun to write, including Old Hobbs, Slash. So I think that'll be fun to have them all back into the mix and actively involved in the story.